Sparky, wait, stay with Pip! Alright, just because today is Halloween, on the day this video was uploaded, let's have one win already for the sake of it, huh? With Haunted House being the episode chronologically coming after Nightmare Night Party, it's great to see that the costume continuity is solid. You can create the impression that the main 5 trick-or-treating happens after the party, and I like that. It's more evident with Jazz and Rocky opening the doors of the main melody together. Wow, they are certainly enjoying an after party.
Trick-or-treat, thank you! Trick-or-treat, thank you!
It sounds like the tradition of trick-or-treat has changed from past Equestria, adjusting the old rhyme of to a simple trick-or-treat is more time efficient in the storytelling, plus it's relatable to us the audience with our own way of celebrating the holiday. It seems that Sunny's influence on Maritime Bay is finally paying off. Ever since the episode AliCond, the sweets the citizens are giving away are healthy carrots and apples on a stick. They make sure we hear the characters say thank you every time they receive them. Healthy eating and good manners. They are certainly setting good examples for younger viewers. Everyone who opens their doors, they find the group of friends in a funny pose. But when Posy opens her door, she finds no one, and then they all jump out of the side to shout in her face. No wonder she was scared. I guess Posy received a trick, and it's a hilarious difference from the first 3 door openings.
My flowers are spaghetti? Every pony knows that pasta gives me.
Ooh, hear that? An indication of a pasta allergy or intolerance? I love this sprinkle of portrayal in Posy, as we can sympathize with her closer. This fact can also be applied to Izzy too, with her woozy experience eating pasta in It's TUES Day and the Blocky Walkies. These are small but meaningful details that make both characters feel more real, so an extra win. This time on Tell Your Tale Intro Appreciation Win, we have the rare occasion where the opening is not unique but rather familiar. We repeat the same intro as Nightmare Night Party with the same funky instruments and tempo as Monster Party, which is convenient considering this is also a Nightmare Night themed episode. Awesome!
All I want is some actual Nightmare Night spookiness!
It's delightful of the writers to show a side of Pip Petals we wouldn't normally expect. Her love for horror is definitely a welcoming change of pace. It's developed further in future episodes of Make Your Mark, like Top Remodel, where she hopes to find something terrific in the abandoned Cantalogic factory, and in The Masquerade Ball, where she has a whole collection of spooky stables books when she was a filly. Haunted House was the first time we saw that horror-obsessed side of Pip, and I appreciate that too.
Ugh, please. Earth ponies wouldn't know spooky if...
Despite Pip's ignorance about the different species of ponies not knowing spooky, it's adorable that Izzy still tries to scare her. She doesn't back down from a challenge. Oh, and what does Pip try to do to Misty in Nightmare on Main Street? Who doesn't know spooky now?
First you need an abandoned house with like super creaky floorboards, and it's gotta have all the cobwebs.
Yes, Pip is listing off almost all of the typical horror cliches, yet considering the target audience of My Little Pony, all of these tropes are appropriate to bring up. It helps the younger viewers become acquainted with a beginner's outlook on the horror genre, and this episode achieves that fairly well. There is something about how lonely Misty must feel that clicks just right in this episode in particular. In this momentary scene, we observe how she watches the main 5 with an upsetting face. Misty must have been feeling envious of their friendship and only wishing she could join them in the festivities, but is being held back, further displaying her awful manipulation by Opaline.
Excuse me, sorry about that.
I gotta like how Misty is the only character that changes their costume between Nightmare Night Party and this episode. Misty would have only been able to get her Masquerade costume inside the main melody, but now that the party has ended, all that Misty could find is a white sheet to appear as a ghost. The irony is that they would have known who Misty was in the Masquerade costume, so what else is there to do other than covering up your entire body? Good disguising, Misty. Robbie Rotten would be proud.
A haunted house?
The cute detail of the ghost in the flyer having pony ears. Aww. Okay, the fact that Misty was able to print flyers and find or build a fully functional haunted house in such a short amount of time is perfect cartoon logic, and it's comedic as hell.
It's gonna be so dark in there.
Who knew Hitch had a fear of the dark? It once again gives character depth, especially when Hitch is supposed to be the tough sheriff role, and this is what he is afraid of. I can't blame him though, I can be too.
You're not afraid of the dark, are ya, Sheriff?
Who, me? Nah, nay way.
See that, everyone? Zip giving Hitch a little friendly tease. Add that to the multitude of Stormblazer moments. Not to mention that it's been inscribed in the leaked G5 show Bible that Zip and Hitch secretly love driving each other nuts. No joke. Iconic Scooby-Doo reference with the bats flying into the camera, similar to how that show opens with textbook spooky houses with bats flying across the screen. This includes that later scene of Misty chasing Sparky through corridor doors. The writer Gretchen Mallory sure loves the classics. No matter what show I watch, this usual trope of characters' eyes glowing in the dark is playfully convenient for mystery and terror themes. Always a win to help us recognize who's talking in the darkness. Is it just me that likes how Izzy uses her phone as a flashlight around her neck? Smart unicycling. This whole haunted house scene of Misty controlling what kind of petrifying monster to unleash onto the main five and seeing them getting scared is hysterical. The variety of common sinister devices are fun to watch our favorite characters getting horrified by. Paintings with eyes that watch them, sticky cobwebs, which I'm pretty sure is a callback to Friendship is Magic's Scaremaster, skeletons dropping from the ceiling, and ghosts stalking them. Probably the best parts of this episode, so I have to reward them double. I have a strong suspicion that Zip's greatest fear are ghosts. She reacted shockingly to them in Nightmare Roommate and in this episode. The fact that she also makes one of her drones dress up as one of them indicates a close relationship of Zip's to the supernatural.
Bring that dragon fire of yours this way.
Ugh, is that garlic bread?
How Misty can smell Opaline's breath through the necklace helps give her hologram a physical form so that Misty is never given a second away from her. I used to think that it was rather confusing and an oversight on the writer's part, but yeah, come on, this is literally part of Opaline's supreme power. Like being able to generate holographic life out of her magic in the Cutie Mark mix-up, it makes sense that she would create an amulet that's able to show exactly where she is, including anything having a physical effect on her and others, which is shown in future episodes like Mission in Ponyball and As the Misty Clears.
Misty, focus!
Oh dear, that is potent.
Opaline and Misty are an excellent duo in this scene, going from dramatically evil to completely comical with something as mundane as garlic breath. A fantastic example of excess lack comedy, where Opaline's speech starts suspenseful and in a second it turns out ridiculous. Moral of the story, always think carefully before choosing to eat garlic bread. Izzy always staying positive even in a sticky situation.
Ugh, I have to do everything myself.
Remember what I was saying about Opaline's physicality through the smoke of the amulet? It's also humorous how Opaline uses it to her advantage to basically tell Misty to chop chop in capturing Sparky, by throwing Misty and being oblivious to the fact that the whiplash will drag her along with her. This was genuinely funny, so I'm giving it 2 wins.
That can't be good.
Well, 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 mares and gentle colts, this is a first here on CinemareWins. I'm gonna have to deduct 5 wins for the inclusion of this obnoxious fart joke alone. It's the only reason this episode isn't quite as highly regarded as Nightmare Night Party or even Nightmare on Main Street. It's far too coincidental to ignore and just provides Sparky too easy of an exit out of the house. Plus, the humor behind it is just gross and very cheap. That's the scariest thing about the episode. How unnecessary the gas was. Win reductions are a thing now, FLUFFBUTTS. Beware! Notice how the eye in Misty's necklace is now looking directly at Sparky during the chase, instead of being in the center of the necklace like normal. It symbolizes Opaline's obsession with the young dragon, never letting him out of her sight.
This is
totally spectacular!
Every Halloween-themed episode is always better with a chase scene. Pip smiles at the ghost while everyone else is terrified. Even though their lives could be in danger, she just cannot get enough of the spooky situation. A great way to increase the eerie action.
3 tickets, please. Pip said it was spooktacular.
You know what? It's perfectly logical that the Pipsqueaks would be the first in line since they are Pip's biggest fans. I admire their dedication.
What have I done?
And lastly, I love this ending. Anyone would be proud to have such a popular haunted attraction, except for Misty, who, in her attempts to capture Sparky, she only blocked herself to do so. Thanks to Pip's social media influence, she's ironically now running a successful haunted house attraction for the evening. And I shall go out trick-or-treating right now and try and find that house. Happy Halloween, everyone!
Let's get this party started.
Pony, go!
Who you gonna call?
Huzzah! Oh, I hate this part with the doors. What are you waiting for? Get him!
Gotta go fast! Gotta go fast!
Dory, do you see anything?
Ah! Something's got me!
That was me. I'm sorry.
Who's that?
Who's that? Who could it be? It's me.
If it's stuck, it's a trap.
Lady, this whole house is a trap.
Ugh. Is that garlic bread?
Garlic bread, you joking? Garlic bread in my mouth?
A haunted house?
Who's the girl next door living in the haunted mansion?
You better learn my name, 'cause I am
Ashley.
That can't be good.
That's not gonna be good for anybody.
And just before this video ends, I want to give a huge thank you to all my patrons on my Patreon. My Silver Fluffbutt patrons, Sabrina Wade, Drew Lucynski, and Alex Smith, and all my Gold Fluffbutt patrons, Jack Leichter, Clear Heart Apple, Owen Wildish, Jonathan Chapper, Darfsiler22, and KikiBat VA. All of your love and support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.